Okay, so my name is Mr. Spencer, and today we're going to be working on box plots, and we'll be in our notes spiral, page 57, and we're going to actually create box plots. Truthfully, for College Board purposes, knowing how to do box plots and knowing everything about them is probably the most important plot that we use, or graphical tool that we use. We will use it throughout the year, so make sure you learn it well. So I'm going to look at my screen, and on my screen, I have my upper and lower fence, and so we're going to learn how to create those. The upper and lower fence determines whether or not things are outliers. So anything to the left of the lower fence is an outlier, and anything above the upper fence is an outlier. Then we have the minimum value, Q1, the median, Q3, and our maximum value. And so we're going to learn how to create that figure. All right, so we're going to learn how to create that figure. So I'm going to pull up my calculator, and I'm going to go to Stat Edit. Now, in my case, I entered all that data into L3. I have a bunch of stuff in the calculator I didn't want to get rid of. I have all that data stored in column L3. So we take a moment, enter your data into your column. I used L3. Then I'm going to go second, quit, and get to a clear screen. Go to Y equal and just make sure that there's nothing on the screen. If there's anything there, you need to clear it out. It'll mess you up. Then go to second stat plot and make sure stat plot 2 and stat plot 3 are off. Let me show you how to do that. I'll just turn stat plot 1 off. It's flashing on. I press arrow over and then I press enter, and now it's off. As it turns out, I want stat plot 1 on, so I'm going to press on and then enter, and now it's turned on. Now I'm going to drop down to the type, and I'm going to select the one that's a box plot, and specifically I'm going to select the one, because there are 2 of them there, I'm going to select the one that shows outliers or has the dots. Once I've selected it, I press enter. I drop down and I need to pick my frequency list. And in this case, I put all my data into column L3, so I need to press second, followed by the number 3, and now I have my X list is L3. I don't have a frequency this time, so I just leave it as 1. And now I'm going to press zoom 9. So we get at this point we have a nice box plot drawn, but we don't have any values to scale it out. But if you look at the calculator, there's a trace feature. So if I push the trace feature and arrow over to the end, I find that my minimum value is at 10, Q1 is at 15, Q3 is at 16.5, or excuse me, the median, let me back up on this, I messed that up. My minimum value is 10, Q1 is 15, my median, which is Q2, is at 16.5, Q3 is at 19, and my maximum value is 25. And that would be my dot plot, and it doesn't show any outliers, so that means I don't have any. However, I also want to show you how to erect the fences, so we'll do that in just. Okay, originally we found out that our minimum value was a 10, so I'm going to make a dot for a 10. We came up with a maximum value of 25, so I'll make that. Then we said that our Q1 was at 15. Our Q3 was at 19. I believe that's correct. Let me check that real quickly. Yes, Q3 is at 19. And our median was at 16.5. And there I have now drawn my box plot, but I need to address the fences. You address the fences by using this formula. This is the lower fence, which is X less than Q1 minus 1.5 IQR. All right. Q1 minus 1.5 IQR. Well, Q1 we said was 15 minus the 1.5. IQR, please remember IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So in this case, 19 minus 15. So my IQR ends up being 4. So we end up having 15 minus 6 equals 9. So if I had had a value below 9, below this value, then I would have had an outlier on the lower end. On the upper side, it's X is greater than Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. And once again, IQR is Q3 minus Q1. That's our IQR. And so in this case, Q3 was 19 plus 1.5. And we said our IQR was 9. Excuse me, 4. I'm sorry about that. 1.5 times 4 is 6. So 19 plus 6 equals 25. So we end up with our maximum value lying on the fence. Because it's on the fence, it's not an outlier. All right, because it's not on the fence, because it's on the fence, it's not an outlier. So I'm going to pause for just a second and resume the recording now. Okay, so once again, Q1 is 15, Q3 is 19, so 19 minus 15 gives us an IQR of 4. Our lower fence was 15 minus 1.5 times the 4. That gives us 9. So anything below 9 would have been an outlier. And an upper fence, Q3 plus 1.5. So we end up with 19 plus, because this is 19 is Q3, plus 1.5 times 4. So anything above 25 is an outlier. We had nothing above 25. So in this case, we had no outliers.